What's up, guys? So here's the update video on my car. I'll put a link in the description to my previous video. So for those of you that haven't seen it, my 96 to 98 sn95 Mustang Cobra developed a knock. I had diagnosed it as rod knock. Unfortunately, that was the wrong diagnosis. In the other video I mentioned I was going to be pulling the engine out and doing a rebuild, and I was going to make a video of it. What happened was I decided to check out the bearings first before I went through the trouble of pulling the engine and spending the money to buy all the new internals to put them in. And what I did was I lowered my K-member on the car, and unfortunately I did not take a video of that. I apologize. I lowered the K-member on the car. I jacked the transmission and engine up as high as I could get it. That gave me just enough room, and I'm talking just enough room, to get the oil pan out with the engine still in the car. Took the oil pan off, inspected the bearings on cylinders 1 and 5, because though, if you don't know, those are the common ones that get starved in these sn95 4.6 liters. Those two bearings are the ones that get starved for oil if you run low. So I decided to check those first because I suspected number 5 was a spun bearing anyway. To my surprise, both disappointment and surprise, I did not have a spun bearing. My bearings looked actually really, really well. Not surprising because this engine only had 71,000 miles on it. But I decided to go ahead and change the bearings anyway, just in case. I changed them. I plastic gauged them, and they came out well within tolerance, and I put it all back together. I start the car up, and the damn knock is still there. So I knew it wasn't the bearings because I didn't just change those bearings. I checked some of the other bearings, and they're all fine. They all come within tolerance. They're all really well. So I decided to, well, check the valve train, the rockers, and the latch adjusters. So I took the driver's side valve cover off, which is not easy. And again, I apologize. I didn't have time to videotape that. And my advice, if you're going to take off the driver's side valve cover on a 4.6 liter dual overhead cam Mustang engine, take the dipstick tube off. It adds a little bit of extra room and makes the job a lot easier to do. So I took it off. I inspected my latch adjusters, I inspected my rockers, and nothing. The cams looked really, really well. The latch adjusters were fine, and the rockers were fine as well. So I put it back together, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell the knock could be. I come across a thread on MustangCorral.com, the forums, and a guy has a cracked manifold, and he put a short video up of it, and it's making the same sound. So I get kind of excited. So I used what he did, which was I took a shop vac that had a blow setting, and I put the tube in the blow side of it, and I taped the other end to my exhaust tip and pressurized the exhaust system to check for a cracked manifold or an exhaust leak around my manifolds. And while it produced the same knock, I did not, and I do not, have an exhaust leak. So I crossed that off the list. The next thing was maybe a rattling catalytic converter. So while I had the car up in the air, I was moving around, pushing around, jerking around on the exhaust, and I don't have a busted catalytic converter. So with the rod bearings out of the picture, the valve train fine, no exhaust leak, and there was one more. Oh, and my flywheel and my clutch being fine, which someone else had suggested could make the noise. I was out of options. So I just decided, I've had other cars where they have serpentine belts and the belt tensioner lets go. and when it lets go, it makes all kinds of weird racket. So I decide to check my belt tensioner. It looks fine when I'm looking at it and the car's running and I'm revving the car up, I'm watching it, and it looks fine. But what I'm going to do now is cut to the car, and I'll show you exactly what I found. And there probably won't be any audio because, again, I live right near a highway and you can't really hear me talk out there. But I'll take video of it and then I'll dub some voiceover on it. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. There it is, guys. The mysterious knock. This little groove, this little spot on my front cover. That's where the belt tensioner has been smacking the front cover and rubbing it. And this is the telltale sign of my belt tensioner having lost it. There's a little groove here. And it's been smacking the front cover and making that ridiculous knocking noise. So there you go. So as I just showed you, that groove where it's been hitting my front cover was, I believe, the source of my knock. And to diagnose it, to be 100% sure, what I did was I took the belt tensioner off and then I ran the car and the knock went away. So my advice to you is, if your 4.6 liter develops a knock, and a rod knock sounds much different than what I was getting, I now know that, but the knocking can be 1, bearings, unfortunately, 2, exhaust leak, 3, valve train, and 4, it could be your belt tensioner. Or 5, actually, 5, if you have an automatic, your flex plate could be cracked. Or if you have a stick shift, a 5-speed, your clutch could be going out. Throw-out bearing or something like that in your clutch. So that's my little update video right now, giving you an example of what I found was wrong with my 4.6 liter sn95. So unlike some of the other videos that you see on YouTube about this particular thing that seems to be a problem with sn95 4.6 liters, my answer was a faulty belt tensioner. The bearings on the actual belt tensioner were allowing the wheel to wobble back and forth, which was allowing it to make contact with the front cover, and it was making the tack, 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 tack sound. So I hope that helps you guys out. I plan to do some more do-it-yourself stuff to the car, so and I promise I will get videos of that. But I got more videos planned. I'm going to put a supercharger on. I'm going to rebuild the engine. I'm also going to be doing just some other stuff, rear end stuff to the car. So stay tuned. I'm going to try and get those videos recorded and get them up on the channel. But I hope this helps you out. And if it does, just let me know in the comments and let me know that it did. I don't care about likes or shares or any of that shit. I don't do YouTube for a living. So thanks a lot. See you guys next time.